Hello class, welcome to Full Syllabus channel. As we have discussed the first two practicals, that is preparation of standard solution and hardness in the last video. Now today we are going to do the next two practicals, that are alkalinity of water and acidity of water. How to estimate these things in water. So let's start with its theory. The first question that should come to your mind is what is alkalinity? Alkalinity is the measure or ability of water to neutralize acids, and alkalinity is due to the presence of three ions: hydroxide, carbonates and bicarbonates, and even their mixtures. Hydroxide and carbonate can be a mixture. Hydroxide and carbonate and bicarbonate can be a mixture. Hydroxide and bicarbonate can't be taken together, because if they are taken together, a reaction will take place and carbonate will be formed. So the third mixture, that is hydroxide and bicarbonate, will not be a reason for causing alkalinity, because these two will react together to form carbonate. Hence this is the only one case that we have written as carbonate. Hence all the three ions are also not present at along with each other at any point of time. Now, what are the reaction involved in this titration? So this type of reaction, or the principle behind this titration, is neutralization reaction. As you want to know the alkalinity of the sample, that means you have base in your water. Now you want to know how much alkaline your water sample is. So what you will be doing? You will be doing a titration with the acid. Hence the bases present in the water are getting neutralized by the various acids you are using. In this case we use H2SO4 as acid. So H plus is reacting with hydroxide to give water, H plus is reacting with carbonate to form bicarbonate, and bicarbonate is reacting again with H plus to give water and CO2. Right? So these are the three reactions which are involved in this titration. The next question that comes to our mind is which indicator we use in this titration. As you are very much familiar with acid base titration, and you know about an indicator named phenolphthalein. Right class? So one indicator we are using is phenolphthalein, and the other indicator which we are using is methyl orange. Now what we will be doing today is we will know why these show color in different medias. I am starting with phenolphthalein. This is the structure of phenolphthalein in acidic media. As you add base to it, the OH present here, they deprotonate or loses their H plus ions, and they undergo resonance like this, which leads to cleavage of this CO bond, and at the end this kind of moiety is formed. This moiety is showing color. The color will be pink color, and this color is due to the quinoid form which is formed here. This form is called the quinoid form, and this form is showing the pink color basically of phenolphthalein. The range for phenolphthalein, the pH range for phenolphthalein is 8.5 to 10. That means between 8.5 to 10 the color transition take place. So before 8.5 the color of the solution of phenolphthalein will be colorless, and after 10 the solution will be necessarily pink. In between the transition will take place if we are using phenolphthalein as the indicator. The next indicator which we are going to study is methyl orange. This is the structure of methyl orange. It is yellow in basic media, and when you add acid to it, right, H plus is added to it. This H plus attack the nitrogen here, and there is a transfer of electrons from the benzene ring. Then this nitrogen lone pair also give its electrons here. So in turn this form is showing a quinoid like structure, as you saw in phenolphthalein also, and this is red in color, which is shown in acidic media. So basic media show yellow color and acidic media show red color of methyl orange, and the pH range for methyl orange is 3.1 to 4.4. Right class? So 3.1 to 4.4, that means before 3.1 the color will be red and after 4.4 the color will be yellow. This kind of base is used for bases which are very low basic, that is weak bases, and strong acids are also indicated by this kind of indicator, whereas phenolphthalein is responsible for strong bases, to determine strong bases, and weak and strong both type of acids. Now, how we measure the extent of alkalinity? As you know, these are the three reactions which are occurring in this titration. The first two reactions show the pH which is in the range of phenolphthalein, right? So the color change of phenolphthalein will be seen and will be due to the neutralization of these two ions. But while doing the neutralization of bicarbonate ion, phenolphthalein has already changed its color and the pH of the solution is now below 8.5. Hence, while doing bicarbonate, phenolphthalein cannot be used as an indicator. So for bicarbonate, the indicator you use is methyl orange. Phenolphthalein cannot be used as an indicator for weak bases. As I told you, methyl orange can be used for weak bases. It can be used for strong as well as weak bases, both. Right, so it will be showing color transition only when the weak base is showing its neutralization reaction completely. This thing can be seen by a graph also. As the pH is decreasing between 8.5 to 9, the endpoint from phenolphthalein has arrived. So this endpoint or this pH can be shown by a carbonate ion or a hydroxide ion, but a bicarbonate ion show a lesser pH, hence this cannot be detected with a phenolphthalein indicator. So when the bicarbonate ion is there in the solution, you have to add methyl orange to know the endpoint or to know the alkalinity caused by a bicarbonate ion. So the first thing we do in this titration is we use the acid solution in the buvette and the alkaline water in the conical. To the alkaline water we add phenolphthalein, and I have termed this titration as phenolphthalein endpoint. Right, we titrate acid and alkaline water and we wait that our alkaline water, which show phenolphthalein pink color, has turned colorless. When the phenolphthalein show, that means your endpoint show colorless nature, then you stop the reaction. And the equation you use to solve for the strength of the alkaline water is N1V1 equals to N2V2. N1 for alkaline water into volume of alkaline water used equals to N of acid into volume of acid used. And normality of acid will be given to you by your instructor. The volume of the acid, you can see from the burette how much acid has been consumed. Then I am taking this acid as A. The amount that is consumed is A ml. And the volume of alkaline water you have used in the conical is 20 ml. It depends, your instructor must have told you it can be 20, it can be 10 ml also. Whatever you have used, you will write it here. Right. From here you can calculate the normality of the alkaline water, showing the endpoint by phenolphthalein indicator. That basically means you have only excess the hydroxide ion and the carbonate ion. The bicarbonate ions are completely free from this titration. They are not being neutralized by the acid while you are recording the neutralization reaction with the phenolphthalein as the endpoint, as phenolphthalein will change color even before the neutralization of bicarbonate has started. So this strength I am terming it as P will be equals to N normality of the alkaline water into 50. Now here I am not taking 100, I have taken 50 because you are talking about normality. So molarity was multiplied in the last video you have seen. To calculate strength, I have multiplied normality with molar mass, but here it is normality, so I will be multiplying it by normal mass, right? So it will be your equivalent mass, and the equivalent mass of calcium carbonate, as you will dissociate this into ions, it will form calcium 2 plus, Ca2 plus. 2 will be the F factor, 100 divided by 2 will be 50. This unit is grams per liter. You will be converting it to ppm by multiplying it with 1000. This will be the strength of alkaline water having hydroxide and carbonate. But what you will do? How will you know that you don't have bicarbonate ions? You surely will have, and even carbonate will dissipate out bicarbonate ion, as you have seen in the equation. So what you will do? You will now add to the same vessel. You can add, or you can take a fresh water sample, whatever is fine with you. You can, but we should not waste chemicals. So what we do, to the same conical, now I am adding methyl orange. The color of methyl orange in the low basic media, it is basic but is yellow. So the endpoint for it will be yellow to red, or sometime orange is seen. Okay, the transition is very sharp. Now again the same formula I am applying. Normality of alkaline water, but now this alkaline water will be having bicarbonate. Maybe that bicarbonate is initially present, or it has been formed by neutralization of carbonate ions. Okay, so normality of alkaline water will be equal to normality of acid into volume of acid divided by volume of alkaline water. This normality is again given to you. This volume you can see from burette. As you have seen, A volume you have used in the titration with phenolphthalein as an indicator, but here you will get the volume B. But when you will be solving for methyl orange, you have to add A to it. Reason beside of adding A, because for methyl orange I am considering that all the 3 ions are getting neutralized by methyl orange as indicator. It will ease my calculation. So what I will be doing, B will be the ml that will be consumed when I am using methyl orange as indicator, because I am adding methyl orange to the same vessel. If I have taken a fresh solution, then these two in addition will give you the volume of acid consumed. But as you have added after phenolphthalein color change methyl orange to the vessel or the conical, that's why you only get B volume. A volume you have to add from the above titration, right? Volume of alkaline water 20 ml or 10 ml as instructed by your instructor, you will write here. Now this strength I am recording as M, N of alkaline water into 50. This unit will be grams per liter. To change it to ppm, I will be multiplying it by 1000. So there are various cases on the basis of which you came to know that which kind of alkalinity is present in your water and it is due to which ion. So the first case will be P is equal to 0. That means there is no phenolphthalein indicator consumed. That means when you add the phenolphthalein indicator to your solution, right, no pink color is seen. That clearly shows there is no hydroxide, there is no carbonate ion present, right? So when you add methyl orange to it, you will see a color that clearly shows that it is having only bicarbonate ion, and you can do the titration only with methyl orange, and the strength with methyl orange is termed as the strength of the alkalinity of water. The second case is when phenolphthalein is equals to M. That clearly shows that phenolphthalein in one condition is only equals to M when there are only hydroxide ion. There are no carbonate as well as bicarbonate ion present. Only in this condition M will be equals to P. The rest 3 cases are written here. When P is equals to half of M, this will only be the case when the carbonate ions are present only, because as you know the carbonate ions will consume half amount of the acid during phenolphthalein as the endpoint, because phenolphthalein will show its color change as the carbonate ion consume the acid, but these carbonate ion will form bicarbonate, right? Now this bicarbonate ion will show its presence only when you use methyl orange as indicator. So as you know, methyl orange should consume double the amount of phenolphthalein if I am saying carbonate is present, because of the 2 equations it undergoes. The first one is carbonate to bicarbonate, and then bicarbonate is consuming the acid to form CO2 and water. So twice P when they are equal. 2 is equal to half M. If phenolphthalein is less, that clearly shows hydroxide is not present, and if phenolphthalein consumption is more, then clearly it shows that hydroxide is present. So these are the all cases which you can be seeing after calculating P and M values of your titration. Right class, that was it with alkalinity. Okay, now we will be starting with acidity. As you know, the pH ranges of methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Methyl orange correspond to all kind of bases, weak as well as strong. Here phenolphthalein will correspond to all kind of acid, weak as well as strong, whereas methyl orange will correspond only to strong acid. In that case, phenolphthalein only corresponds to strong bases. So remember these things in mind. So the first question to my titration experiment is, what is acidity? As basicity, you have talked about alkalinity, that was a measure of water to neutralize acids. Here it will be neutralize bases. Acidity is caused by the presence of H plus ion, that's so obvious. The equation involved in this is also neutralization reaction, but in this case you are taking acidic water which is getting neutralized by base. You are using hydroxide in the burette. Now the indicator use are same, phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Phenolphthalein, as I told you, correspond to strong acids as well as weak acids, whereas methyl orange is only for strong acids. Phenolphthalein calculation, after calculating the acidity, the total acidity will be shown by phenolphthalein because it is corresponding to both kind of acids that are present in our acidic water. Now the next question is how extent of acidity is measured. The first iteration you do here is with the strong acids. So I am using methyl orange as my indicator. This kind of acidity is also called mineral acidity because it is called by mineral acids. N of acidity, that is normality of acidity, will equals to normality of base into volume of base divided by volume of acid. Volume of base you can be seen by the burette. Now the color change for this titration will be as you are taking acid in the conical. So the color change will be orange pink to orangish pink to yellow. Okay class, because you are adding bases. Your conical has acid and you are adding base. So the color change or the end point is just reverse of what you have done in alkalinity. So volume of base you can calculate, see from the burette. Normality of the base will be given by your instructor, and the volume of the acid is 20 ml or 10 ml as you have taken for the titration. The strength here will be called the methyl orange acidity, and it is calculated by normality of the acid which you have calculated above, multiplied by 50. The unit will be grams per liter, which is multiplied by 1000, and the unit converted to ppm. Okay class. The second titration you do is for total acidity, to know the total acidity that is caused by strong as well as the weak acids. So here you use the indicator as phenolphthalein. Again the base is in my burette, and the acidic water is in the conical. And now you are using the same acidic water as you have used, or you can use a fresh water also, right? It depends what you want to do. A fresh acidic water can be used, and a same conical can be used, which we have used for methyl orange. Now the normality of acid is equals to normality of base into volume of base divided by volume of acid. This will be given to you. This you can see from the burette, and this is 20 ml or 10 ml as you have taken. This strength will be called as total acidity. Normality of acid will be multiplied by 50. The unit will be grams per liter. To convert this unit into ppm, you have to multiply it by 1000. In this way, you can calculate the strength or the acidity of your acidic water. That was all for the two experiments. All the viva questions I have covered. If you have any doubt, you can talk to me in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys.